guys, it's Abby from Pellinor, and today we are going through my April TBR. So I am reducing this massively from what I did last month. So January and February I read, and March, I read a large amount of books. That was great, but I started to struggle at the end of March, like quite badly. So I'm reducing that down this month. Obviously if I get through everything I'll just pick up another book, but I'm going to reduce the kind of mandatory amount down quite a bit. Oh yeah, read less this month, she said. I'm gonna get started with the standard ones. So of course, me and Olivia Savannah from Olivia's Catastrophe, if I can speak, are still going to be reading 1 or 2 chapters of War and Peace every single day. Very much enjoying this. And I am going to be reading a currently unspecified amount of Fall of Giants by Ken Follett. So last month I read about 100 pages. I may end up trying to do the same again this month in sections across the month, but also today is Monday, the 29th, 28th? 29th! And I just haven't decided yet. I think it's going to be around 100, but yeah, I'm going to read bits of those, okay? Okay. Then for the Buzzwordathon hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala, this month's prompt is star, or stars, one of the two. No it isn't. Fucking idiot, it's space. This month's prompt is space. So I was tempted. Last month I read a Doctor Who book which had time in the title, which is what was needed. I was very tempted to read another Doctor Who book or just something sci-fi-y, but this is a book that I own that is not multiple in a series on that I haven't read yet, that has stars in the title. So I'm going to read this one. I didn't actually go into what these are about, mainly because I keep mentioning them. War and Peace is Russia in the 1800s, early 1800s, and Fall of Giants follows the events of the First World War. They're both historical fictions. This also, I believe, is a historical fiction. It is about, I've seen a few stories kind of mentioning this. It's about women who rode horses in the west of the US to distribute books to people, to get them to read. Okay, so yeah, this English woman marries an American and comes over here, and she leaves her family behind, but her new family doesn't approve of her, and so she's just kind of unsure of what she's going to do, and then so she meets Marjorie O'Hare, a troublesome woman and daughter of a notorious felon, and they spread books across to different people, and it develops from there. I have actually started this one previously. I mean, is the bookmark where I read up to, or is it just in there? I believe the bookmark's where I read up to, which is a massive 40 pages. I was listening to it on audiobook. Shouldn't have done that. I need something to get me in at the beginning. So I might reread those pages, I might not. It depends how much I remember. That was a lot of words to say that this is my Buzzwordathon read. Then I put a poll on my Instagram. I thought that I was going to be keeping up with the amount of reading I was doing in March, and I did not. So I put a poll on my Instagram, put a load of stacks of thrillers, and when I need to read some of these thrillers, I haven't read a thriller in forever, pick a stack, right, you've picked a stack, pick which book from this stack I'm reading. And you guys picked The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, or as I think it's known in America, the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. This is a thriller mixed with fantasy, so thank you very much for picking it because I'm more likely to love it, where a man is attempting to solve the murder of a woman, Evelyn Hardcastle, and Aidan Bishop is too late to save her each of the 100 times that the clock is rewound. And so every time the day begins again, Aidan wakes in the body of a different guest. And someone is desperate to stop him ever escaping Blackheath. So yeah, basically murder mystery with magical fantasy elements. Sounds right up my street. It is 500 pages long. However, thriller normally makes it fast-paced. Like contemporary, which is technically what a thriller is, with a big fantasy twist, like light fantasy, I speed through. So I'm hoping. I'm really hoping. Then, of course, for the Skulduggery year and a bit long readathon, I will be reading The Faceless ones by Landy. We are making our way through all of these. I'm doing the live show for Playing with Fire, the second book, on the 10th. So Saturday the 10th, so definitely check in for that. The details will be on my Twitter because I cannot remember them right now. I'm so professional. But yes, this is a series where you follow a skeleton detective and a young teenage girl. It's a middle grade series. Magic in Ireland, lots of violence. Highly recommend. And then the last book that's like officially on my TBR is Slay by Brittney Morris. Well, the last book before the TBR jar. Right, shut up. Slay by Brittney Morris. This follows a young girl who has created this immersive kind of role-playing world for black people online, and a murder happens that is linked to the game and the creator is blamed, but nobody knows that it's her and she's just a 17-year-old girl. This is all I know. I want to read it. We'll see how it goes. And this was gifted to me by the lovely Carrie, and that one right there was gifted to me by my wonderful friend Jojo, who I love most dearly. And then just before I do my TBR jar pick, one that I'm like, All Systems Red by Martha Wells. I have heard amazing things about this. This was gifted to me by the amazing and wonderful Veronica. Of course, everyone's links will be in the description box down below. So, 1, thank you so much. And 2, I have seen Eleanor. Again, links down below. Save me. I love you all, but I forget every time and then panic. So, this I've seen Eleanor talking about and she loved it. I've seen other people mention it before as well, and there's a character that everyone seems to love called Murderbot. And if you have watched my videos, you know I require Murderbot. I need... So like this technically isn't on my TBR because like this is already pretty big and I don't want to like put too much pressure on myself, and I've got my TBR jar pick to come, but at the same time this is 150 pages and there's a Murderbot, so... Shut up. And then, so yeah, I won't be mad if I don't get to that one, is essentially what I'm saying. Well, you don't have to fall over. I need to reprint this one. This is getting removed because it's too obvious of a pick. I had to sellotape it because I ripped it. Shut up, I'll rewrite it. So excluding, what is this one? Just so you know. Flyboys, A True Story of Courage by James D. Bradley. This is a non-fiction book about World War II pilots gifted to me by Carrie. So I will read it, I promise, but I need to rewrite this later. Like, I'm gonna pick that one if it's there. Moving on. Last month's TBR jar pick went really well. I read Reckoning by Kerry Wilkinson. You can see my full thoughts in my monthly wrap-up, but I enjoyed it. And it got me to read a book that I should have read a long time ago. So, this bodes well for the jar. So let us see if I can get my hand inside the teddy glass. Why am I so indecisive? No, I don't want you. Do I want you? You'll do. Again, the same as last month. I'm so nervous. Why? Can you not? Why am I so nervous? Okay, so it's not going to focus. It is a revision course in geography by Thomas Pickles. This is a non-fiction book, which is old. It's from the 50s. Actually, bear with me. Visual aid. So this is a non-fiction, essentially geography textbook from the 1950s. I picked it up when I was in Preston doing my undergrad because my undergrad was in geography and I found an old book in geography. Hello. So I would like to read through it just to compare, because a lot of geography is quite set in stone. I promise that wasn't intentional. Basically, it doesn't change a lot. There are certain facets of geography because geography kind of encompasses all of earth science. So there are facets that change more, for example like biology, like microbiology, the panini that we're currently in, the pancetta, but also then just like discovering new species, the species going extinct, versus my discipline that I did for my masters, which is, well, I did geohazards, but like geology, relatively stable. Okay. I need to shut up. But yes, so I am just interested in seeing kind of how things have changed in what they teach us at a basic level. This is intended for A-levels, I believe. Preface. It is for students in the upper forms of grammar schools, in training colleges and in technical schools and colleges. So yeah, this is A-level geography. Just old time A-level. Back in day A-levels. So this will be interesting to read through. I don't think it's going to be the quickest read. The writing is quite small, but I wanted to read it through for a while. So that's my pick. Ooh, okay, not mad. So now I have to pick them all up for the thumbnail, so like, pray for me. But this is, she says for the thumbnail and then starts doing it as she speaks. But anyway, this is my, oh fucking hell, TBR. Why do I do this to myself? This is my TBR for April. Let me know if you've read any of these, what you thought of them, and you think I should focus on first. So let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Read fucking less this month.